Okay, welcome to Macca's Garage Down Under. Here we have the Alfa Romeo Giulia quadrifoglio right hand drive. I've taken the engine cover off, which is sitting over here, and it might pay to note the configuration of the 6 clips for easing it off. They sit on top of fairly straightforward pivot points here, and one at the back center, two at the right, and these are the key ones. What we have here is a baby's drinking bottle with 2 side handles cut down to size, a slot cut out of the handle to allow it to be positioned underneath the drainage hole on the right hand drive scuttle. Use a single zip tie to hold in place. It's fairly stable. It springs up naturally, so the back end of it is actually pushing up against the sponge pad that sits under the second drainage hole to the right, over in this direction. I've siliconed that one up. It actually sits directly above that black bracket. I think you can only just see it. Let's have a look. Get the hood release cable out of the way. Yeah, you can see the black bracket at the back. The high point on that is where the second drainage port actually sits. So very little water is actually getting through there, but it's dribbling down that bracket. You can see the dribble stain, and then it's dribbling to the left of that rivet and over the bar and down onto the ECU. It's only a dribble, so I don't think that you can see it's full of water now. I've siliconed it up, a little bit of black silicone. I don't think that's critical. I don't think it was functioning properly on the right hand drive scuttle because of the location of that bracket, and that bracket is probably I'd say the bracket dates back to left-hand drive build. It was probably used like the brackets on the other side for holding the intercooler fluid reservoir. So it wasn't really doing anything except for dribbling, and then dribbling onto the secondary ECU. And it's now doing nothing because I've plugged it up. So it's just one less area to be concerned about. What happens here is, as soon as the water here builds up more than a centimetre, it flows over into the secondary channel, and you can see to the left hand side bottom of that spindle cap and the base is the plug, which goes straight through to the underside where we have the new Maccarak, the water drainage system device, costing £2 and 45 minutes of your time, a zip tie and a little bit of patience. So I've sent some photos on the post of this. It's very simple. It's basically a cut on a baby's drinking bottle, and it's held in by 1 zip tie. Seems to be firm enough, remembering that on the top of the engine bay here, we have a cover, and any air that's flowing into this area through the radiator grills at speed is probably flowing over this area. So looking at a static situation, and this is a bit of a surprise, the water was originally running out of the channel at the back here, a little drainage channel, straight onto the bar and straight over the bar and straight down onto those plugs. Can you see the bare exposed wires? That's part of the harness, ECU harness plug. It sits on top of the secondary ECU. The secondary ECU can be located down by the blue cable. It's an aluminium box with a sticker on it, Bosch sticker. This harness is supposed to be waterproof in the sense that it clips onto a harness bar, but there's a secondary set of power cables, leads coming into it, which you can see are slightly exposed. And to be honest, any water sitting on top of a mechanism like this, even if it's supposed to be relatively waterproof, is going to let water in at some time. This is called gravity, and water always finds its lowest point. So what we have here is an experiment to show you how the Maccarak works. You can reposition the scoop anywhere you like to let the water flow off in any direction you like. If I pour water over the spindle, you can see the water, and we're talking about a reasonable quantity of water here, you know, that's coming out and dripping. And now, as you can see, it's dripping outside of the line of the ECU plug. It's actually dripping onto some other wires, which are shielded and for the most part look to be like they're not going to be a major issue. The water does move, and to be honest, there are the plugs down here and the side of the ECU bracket, but this is a considerable improvement. Just FYI, if you fill up the channel where the secondary drain was that I filled up, you can see the water just flows straight into the primary and then straight through down this little chute. But hey, you know, at least now it's well shy of the plug. And as I say, you can move the position of this around as you feel fit. This is a pretty quick solution. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it's going to be a half an hour job. I reckon you're going to save yourself a trip to the dealer and 4 weeks off the road at some stage. Hopefully Alfa can sort this out. Anyway, boys, I'll let you go. It's Macca from Down Under, and Maccarak version 2 or 3. I'm pretty happy with this one. I'll try it on the road, make sure it doesn't move. But hey, I think it's going to be fine. Okay then, see ya, bye.